What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the LA Soccer Hub Show. My name is Gio Garcia. Man, what a weekend of Leagues Cup. It was insane. Watch Messi do his thing again. And here to help me talk about that, Justin. Justin, how you doing?
Doing well, man. Yeah. Messi did his thing again. I mean, what can you say anymore? Is there really anything to say anymore? I don't think there is, right? I mean, he's just continuing to exceed expectations. Whatever possible lofty expectations you can ever place on this man, he will always exceed them. And to me, that proves why he's the best player that ever lived.
Yeah, man. Just watching the game last night. I got home and I started watching the game, and I was just like, okay, he got that first goal. Like FC Dallas broke them down. Like FC Dallas, for the most part, was the better team, but they just couldn't finish their chances. Jesus Ferreira, he probably could have had a hat trick. He just couldn't finish it. And then you just see like this is like the first time they've been tested. Right, they're outside of home. They're playing in Dallas. It's like 100 degrees. It's hot, and you saw into Miami like the deficiencies they have on the defensive end, how they get broken down. You can hit them on the counter attack. You know they're an older club. You know they got Jordi Alba and Busquets, but they're all in their 30s, and you saw how the counter attack and how you could break them down. But FC Dallas couldn't put them away, and it was just like it was like we know Messi is great, but when you witness greatness over and over again, at least for me, what Messi did, especially on that free kick, it was just so insane, and just how he willed them back. I think it was he got willed them back to 4-4 after being down 4-2. Give me your thoughts on the comeback and just being able to witness that.
Yeah, I mean, there was a point there where you thought, Dallas are finally going to be that team, right? They've come up with the blueprint to beat Miami, which is sit back, deep defend as much as you can, try and, congest things as much as possible for Messi because he's going to score, he's going to hurt you. And he scored early on. But if you can try and then hit them on the counter and be clinical with your chances, that's how you beat them because you have to outscore them, right? They're going to score goals with Messi, and you just have to outscore them. And Dallas went out and scored 4 goals, but it just wasn't quite enough. And it's funny, I actually had a friend texting me during the game at it was 4-2, and he said, "All right, the script is on, right? It's happening now." And then the own goal, he's like, "All right, there it is, Farfan's own goal." That's obviously, and then a free kick, and then it's like, of course he's gonna bang this in, right? He has to, and then he does it again. It's almost like you expect it to happen, but you can't possibly actually believe it's going to happen, and then it does. So that's the only way I can put it into words.
Yeah, when I saw the free kick, I was like, "Oh man, this is what." I was like, I was like, "He's gonna score it." I was like, but it's a little further away, and just seeing the quality of the free kick, obviously the replays and everything, and I was like, "Holy shit, he's about to do it again!" And then he scores it, and I couldn't believe it. Like I knew he was gonna do it, but I still couldn't. Like you said, I still couldn't believe it. I was just in awe of just witnessing that greatness. And I think who was it, Taylor Twelveman, or whoever was commenting the game was talking to put him obviously along the likes of LeBron, MJ, and all the like the high like the athletes at the highest level. And it kind of also reminds me of like too, like in a weird way, like Stephen Curry when he makes those incredible threes, what no one believes like he can make those threes. It just kind of remind me of like a moment. It's like this guy, there's no way he's gonna make it, and he still scores the unforgiving free kick, and you got to just be careful how you where you foul these guys. And it's just like, to me, it's just like that the tournament is heating up. You're in the knockout stage and everything, and Messi taking them to PKs after scoring that magical free kick. It just goes to show, like, like no matter where you are at, he continues to elevate his team. Continuing, you see him get frustrated at his teammates, yell at them. I think he was frustrated with Robert Taylor, who had been has been his patriarch right there, just along in the front three. He got mad with Joseph Martinez because they weren't making the movements, but also would feel like FC Dallas was making it so difficult on them. And just seeing all that, and you see how much he cares about winning and playing in the MLS. It's just like, he's not here just to retire. He's coming here to win this, and it's just like it's just so refreshing to have a player come from Europe and obviously being the GOAT and actually care that much and wanting to continue to prove himself because he doesn't have to do anything else to prove himself. He's already done it all and he continues to do it.
Yeah, he wants it, and then that's what's great about it. Obviously it's a cheat code for Inter Miami to have a player that can just pop free kicks into the upper 90 when they feel like it. And so you can't foul them at the end of the game because you're gonna put your own team in a terrible position. But I think it's what you say. It's incredible to see the passion and the energy and the will that he's bringing to this league. And just he doesn't seem to drop. Like he doesn't think of MLS as any lower than La Liga or Liga, right? We all know it's a lower league, but he's clearly not approaching it in that way. He's bringing everything he has every single game, and that to me is what's going to elevate this league more than anything because his name is everything. His the eyeballs and everything he brings onto the league is why you want him here. But for him to do this week in and week out keeps those eyeballs returning every single week. And that, to me, it makes you intrigued not only with Messi, but with the league and continuing to watch the league. And I think that's how it grows. So it's incredible. And on that topic, I have to give credit to Miami and Tata and Messi himself because the way that they're approaching this, as you just mentioned, is all about the team, right? It's not about Messi. It's not about Busquets. It's not about Alba. It's not about Tata. It's about getting the team to win. Obviously, Messi's going to be the leader. He's going to be the guy scoring most of those goals. But when Joseph Martinez needs to score a goal, Messi gives him the penalty, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it's the fifth penalty to take to send them to the next round, it's the academy kid, Benjamin Kromaski, getting the faith in him to take it, right? Messi went first. Busquets went second. Either of them could have went fifth. No, they're putting their faith in Kromaski because they are trying to build this team from the ground up. They're trying to make it so that we're all in this together. And I think it's a great way. And I think that's how they're going to continue to build. And, Kromaski said it after the game. They finally know how to win now. And that is, they don't want to stop.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing you just hit the nail on the head about this Inter Miami team. It's about everybody, and you need it to be about everybody. And when you feel that, and when you have a player like Messi, that's all about the team, and it just elevates an average player to the next level. It doesn't matter like when you play alongside great players and great individuals like that, their characteristics, their tendencies are going to rub off on you. And they're going to make you care and they're going to make you approach a game different. And you're going to have that belief because I think with the team like Inter Miami, they were so bad that they had so much pressure. But now that Messi is there, all the pressure or whatever pressure, I don't think there's no pressure on him because he's done it at the highest level. But all that attention just goes to them. And I think a lot of these players can just play more freely. And you see some of the passes he gives to Joseph Martinez. And you have that self-belief, like Benjamin Kromaski. I think he scored the goal too, and then he also got the PK because I think a player like him, he's young. I feel like when he was gonna go take the PK, I was like, it's already written the stars. Like he's gonna score this. Like you can't tell me that young man does not have the most confidence he's probably ever had in his life, and that's all because obviously the team. But credit to Messi and just bring him that aura of like when you around those people, around the talented people like that, it just brings your aura. Even if maybe you don't have that confidence, but it just brings you that confidence to the next level. And it's just amazing to see. It's like you said, week in and week out, where this team is going and how far. Because I really felt like when they were down 4-2, they were getting tested, and I was like, I don't really see anything from Miami going on, and they get those two free kicks, that own goal by Farfan, and then Messi scoring it in there. Just shows you the power of this team and the fight that Messi has and continues to push on with this team. And it's just, man, I know this is what MLS wants them to be in the final, but it's just like the way they're going about it is just insane. And it's a pleasure to watch.
It absolutely is. And you look at the other side of it too, for me, because obviously any team that comes up against Messi, any player that comes up against Messi is playing their best possible they can. They want to impress him, right? That's what they're doing on the field. They don't care even about winning at that point. They're trying to impress Messi, which in turn will help them win. Jesus Ferreira failed to do that, but Alan Velasco was had one of his best games of the year, if not his best game, and got Messi's shirt, right? So everybody's trying to impress the GOAT, get his shirt after the game, and that makes the game even better, which to me makes it even more impressive what he's doing, because you got your absolute best shot from Dallas, right? They played a really good game when you think about it, and still conceded 4 goals, which is just absurd and tells you, how talented that attack is with Messi in it. So yeah, it's just going to continue, and I hope that this run continues. They now host Dallas back in Miami, or I think Dallas, right, or the winner of Dallas and Charlotte, excuse me.
No, Houston and Charlotte.
Houston and Charlotte. Sorry, confusing them. That they just played Dallas. Excuse me. Thank you. Yes, so that should be a relatively easy one to move through again. You would think one that they can at least definitely win. Not a difficult Mexican team like maybe the other side of the bracket. So hopefully that they can continue this run.
Yeah, look, let's turn over the page. We got obviously LAFC versus RSL. Big key matchup. You got Chicho Arango, first time coming back to face LAFC at BMO Stadium. You also have Danny Masevsky, who scored 2 amazing goals to help beat Leon. So 2 former LAFC players help beat Club Leon. Now coming back to Los Angeles on Tuesday. Big matchup, knockout stage. Lot of things are at stake, but also a little revenge factor potentially on Chicho Arango. Just the way kind of things ended for him with LAFC. What are your thoughts? I know you're on the call with him. What did Chicho say, and what stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean, what stood out for sure was that he said he doesn't have any, bad blood or any type of remorse with LAFC. He's very, went out on a good note in his mind. Yes, he wanted to stay, and it just didn't work out. He said, that's football, though, right? It doesn't always work out. But he's very happy in Salt Lake. His family is very happy. He's settled in well, and that's really what matters for him, right? Of course, and it should. So he's very happy. He's already scored 2 goals, I believe, with RSL. He's going to continue to score in MLS, as we know. He's a proven goal scorer in this league. So a fantastic pickup for RSL, and I think for him, he's very happy. He said, should he score, he will celebrate, though. He is ready to score. He's not going to go over the top. He's going to show respect to LAFC, but he's going to show respect to RSL as well, who he said, currently pays him and feeds him. So he's going to probably do his classic celebration if he can put one in the back of the net. But it'll be very interesting. I assume he'll get a very good reception, especially when he receives his championship ring, which he will receive tomorrow. I assume they will have some kind of pregame ceremony for that, although Leagues Cup is very tight with their deadline, so we'll see how that rolls out. But yes, he will receive that ring tomorrow, which is great. And of course, Danny already has his.
If I was a betting man, I would bet that Chicho will score tomorrow, Tuesday. I would bet quite a big money on Chicho scoring, because he is very motivated. And I know he said that, but like, I just a competitor in him. This is my personal thoughts. It's gonna be like, this is what you missed out. This is what you could have had, right? And we're talking about this year. LAFC needs a number 9, right? They've been wanting to get a number 9, and obviously Chicho was so great for them and what he did. To me, I know they would have messed up they would have had to tear the team apart with all the rules, and things. I just always felt like Chicho was a player of the future, was a player that could, that wanted to stay with LAFC long term. He had a great relationship with the fans. He was loved by everybody. He was amazing with the media. Just great persona overall. And I think it was just very unfortunate that they couldn't get it done, or they couldn't figure it out for him, just with all the roster rules. But yeah, that's one of the pieces that I feel like LAFC is potentially, it's not going to be an easy game for them tomorrow, but I really feel like individually he's one of the best players that they've brought and been able to recruit and build up and help them win a championship. But like you said, like he mentioned, it's part of the business. It's what happens. But yeah, I expect a big game, big game out of Chicho, and also potentially Danny Masevsky. Let's turn the page over. Let's talk about LAFC. They come from behind. They come back after what, a couple, like 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks or whatever, 2.5 weeks from not playing. They beat FC Juarez 7-1. It was a smashing. Like, I had a feeling like FC Juarez also was kind of on a roll too, coming into this game, but they smashed. Carlos Vela gets 2 goals. Denny Buanga gets a hat trick. Nathan Ordaz gets his goal as well. It was just absolutely thrashing, spanking, whatever you want to call it, by LAFC. And also, what were your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
what do you think, Justin? What do you think?
club record 7 goals was a special night. I was in the second half trying to write up my article, trying to finish it up and publish at full time, and they just kept putting another goal in the back of the net. I kept having to revise, revise, revise. It was incredible. It really was. It just felt like a goal going in every 5 minutes in that second half because they did score 5 goals in 45 minutes, right? So it was really 1 goal every 9 minutes when you think about it, which is an absurd rate to score. So it was a lot of fun. As you say, that hunger was back from LAFC. Boanga back on the score sheet. Has a hat trick in all 3 competitions that he's been in this year, which is just incredible. And Vela, I think that's one of his best games of the year, if not his best game
Mhm.
of the year, right? He's showing that, and I've always said this on this podcast and elsewhere that I always think he shows up against Mexican teams. He always says that it doesn't mean anything more to him, but I think it does, because he continues to put up numbers against Mexican teams. But yeah, going forward into this RSL game and connecting to that Chicho topic, we'll see if Mario Gonzalez is available to go, because should he be, that could be a debut for him, likely off the bench should he be available. Which would be, another storyline, is essentially Chicho's replacement debut against Chicho. Would be pretty interesting for sure. But yeah, it's going to be a really good game. I expect some goals and some fireworks, because these two teams are very good. Not only just good teams, but good attacking teams with potency up top.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing to me is obviously I think you had noted that Carlos Vela kind of left the game with the parent injury. I don't know. I guess we'll find out today if he's injured. He's going to be available. I find it very, very hard for me to that Vela will not play in this game tomorrow, even if he does have an injury, because they got it. They have to win tomorrow. They're going to need everybody. And at RSL too, they're on a roll right now. They're I think one of the hottest teams in MLS. Just going in, they just got a lot of momentum with the things that they're doing, how they're playing. That team has a lot of belief. And I really feel like this is going to go down to the wire. Maybe like a 2-1 type of performance, or maybe 1-0, 3-2. I think it's just going to be or potentially could go to penalties too, which we've seen. What's been exciting, I know you're not a fan of potentially doing penalties, but after last night and some of these games, you can't
You're
tell
gonna
me
tell
that
me you didn't want 30 more minutes of that Inter Miami Dallas game?
oh, I could have gotten another. Yeah, of course I could have had another 30
That's what
minutes.
I'm
But those
saying.
guys
Give
were
me
gas.
extra time, man. Give
Those
me
guys
extra
were
time.
those guys were gas. Those guys were gas. Yeah, I feel like extra time. Just a little side note. I feel like extra time should go if we start going about those rules, and we'll talk about it a little bit more in depth. The extra time should be for like a final. That's just my own thing. But like the PKs
Okay,
have been fun. Like the PKs have been fun. But like
that's fair.
to go back on LAFC RSL, like this one could potentially go to PKs. I feel like it just has that room and that atmosphere and just everything going, all the storylines and everything. It's gonna be nice on a Tuesday night to watch this game. It's gonna be a really good one.
Absolutely a toss up for sure. But we do have to talk about some less happy news, Gio, with the U.S. women's national team, who have been knocked out of the World Cup at the round of 16 stage, their earliest ever exit from the World Cup, of course, in the biggest tournament ever. But it was uh, it was a much better performance from the U.S. women's national team, if we're honest, right? They played a very good game overall. I think the double pivot, it really changed the game for Vlatko. He started out the game really well, and then by the end of the game, by extra time, he reverted to his poor coaching of I don't want to make any subs, right? He started out trying to change everybody's mind by making a great tactical adjustment that, oh, excuse me, a great tactical
Let it out.
adjustment. Yeah, I don't know what happened. A great tactical adjustment in which he, helped the United States changing that midfield, and I think that the miss of Roosevelt didn't really hurt the United States because of that. But then up top, the ball just couldn't be put in the back of the net. I think that There was no reason for Rapinoe over Alyssa Thompson. That made no sense to me. Alyssa never came on. I mean, why are you bringing Alyssa Thompson to the World Cup if she is not going to be brought in extra time against tiring defenses, right? You brought in Lynn Williams. Her speed was lethal. Imagine putting Alyssa Thompson on that other side. They're absolutely dusting the Swedish defense. So it's very questionable to me. I don't know exactly what the thought process was there. Obviously, Kelly O'Hara comes off the bench in the very last and misses a penalty, right? Rapinoe also missed a penalty. So it's very, very tough. You miss 3 penalties in the row there. You should probably win that. You obviously lose by the absolute tightest margin that's ever been seen and I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if there's any game that's ever been decided by a tighter margin than that. But it is what it is. And I don't think that the United States really deserve to win this tournament. So going out of the round of 16, sure, it's tough because you're the number 1 team facing the number 3 team in the round of 16, and maybe you should have gotten a little bit of an easier opponent, but that's your own fault. So I think it is what it is, and that nobody to blame but ourselves, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I did see like how they lost. I think that the PKs and the save that wasn't a save. Unfortunately, the ball did cross the line. But yeah. I think everybody expected a lot more for the U.S. Women's national team, especially how they've done through the years and everything. And it's just unfortunate how they went out. But yeah, we'll see who ends up winning it. We're definitely gonna have someone else win the women's World Cup. But with that, guys, we have a shorter pod. Got a lot going on today. Busy day. So that's gonna wrap things up for Justin and I. And we'll catch you guys next time. Bye, everybody.